Morning guys, and welcome back to DAZZLE. Today I'm looking at a new auto feeder. So if you saw my previous review of the All Pond Solutions feeder, you'll know the issues that I had with that. That wasn't fit for purpose for me, and so I've been looking for an alternative around the £60–70 price bracket, so a budget, low end, cheap auto feeder. I was stuck between a few. The Aquaforte model particularly came close, but in the end I've decided to go for the Fishmate P7000 next, to give that a go. So I'm going to review that today, put it through its paces, so hopefully that'll improve where the All Pond Solutions was lacking. So we'll crack on. Again, as last time, I haven't opened this prior to doing the video, so I'm going to do it live on camera. I'll pop that open. Right, first thing is we've got a invoice. The unit costs £69.98. I got it from Water Gardening Direct. These were the cheapest place for this that I could find. Ordered it, came within 2 days, so really quick, free delivery as well. I can't fault the Water Gardening Direct at all, the service, and as I say, it was the best price I found. So in the box we have another box and some packaging. There's the feeder itself. So first thing I noticed straight away is that it's very light compared to the All Pond Solutions. Particularly feels as though it may be a bit flimsier, a bit lighter, but anyway, we'll come to that. So that's the box, as boxes go. A very nice box. So information on the box: English, German, French, Spanish and Dutch. Fully programmable LCD control with approximately 6 to 9 months battery life. So first problem straight away, I need batteries for this. So yeah, against the All Pond Solutions, which was a solar product, solar powered, straight away a bit of a demerit. I need batteries and I haven't got any. So therein lies the first problem. I will get some batteries. 6 to 9 months battery life. It requires 4 times C batteries, which of course are not included. Weather resistant snap lock lid, 7 litre capacity for the food hopper. Unique feed mechanism ensures accurate and consistent feed sizes from 15ml or 3 teaspoons upwards. So 3 teaspoons is significantly less than the All Pond Solutions delivered. So if it comes good on that promise, then straight away it's an improvement on that. Can be fastened to a secure base for increased stability. Easy clean, dishwasher proof hopper. I suppose that's a good point. You can just stick the hopper in the dishwasher periodically to give it a clean. Lid, nozzle and feed screw. So there we have it. As I say, a really nice box, lots of nice pictures of koi on. Open it up, we've got a feeder inside in a bag. And as I say, as I did sort of suggest just from holding the box initially, this does feel very very cheap, very light, no weight to it at all, I must say. It feels a bit flimsy, but there we go. So programmer on the front and the feed comes out the side. So the All Pond Solutions, if you've seen that video, programmer on the front, feed out the back, so you can put it on the pond, see it. This one, not quite as good. I mean, it's not a showstopper, but it's there. Press and pull. There we go. Right. Okay. So yeah, it does feel quite flimsy. It's like a Tupperware box, to be honest, and a Tupperware lid. So yeah, build quality is definitely down on the previous feeder I tested. But we'll take it in its own right rather than comparing it. Inside we've got a bag. So instructions, exploded diagrams, programming, setting the clock. So the first 6 pages are in English, so there's 6 pages in here of instructions. Then we've got German, French, Spanish, Dutch. Yeah, so they're the instructions. I'll come to them. And then in here we've got a chute and a feed hopper, a feed screw. So basically, I'm guessing the screw turns and it pushes the food out as it goes. So a little bit of assembly with this one, which we didn't get with the All Pond Solutions, and as I say, it does feel very flimsy, but let's not be hasty. If it feels flimsy but it works and it delivers a small feed and I can use it, then that's got to be better than being sturdily built and useless. So first thing I need to do is go and get some batteries. So all that thought, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've just had my leg lifted by the local Sainsbury's for 4 batteries. It cost me £8 for 4 C batteries. So the, what was it, 70 quid I paid for the feeders already, 78 quid before I even start. So yeah, not a good start, but there we go. I'm sure I could have got them cheaper, but it's just down the road and I'm lazy. So there are the batteries. Right, where do the batteries go? Let's have a look. In the bottom, I'm guessing. Stick that out the way, then you can see. So yeah, it looks like, yep, battery compartment in the bottom. As far as installing batteries go, that was pretty standard fare. So straight away we've got the clock on there, 12 AM. I'm going to have a go at setting the time, so press the time button. No, oh there we go. Keep my finger on the time button. No, that's not doing anything. Okay, so yeah, straight away, not quite the intuitive system that the All Pond Solutions had. Can't actually set the clock. Setting the clock, press and hold the time button for 5 seconds. I thought I just did that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right, that was about, I had to hold that for about 8 seconds, so don't give up after 5 thinking it's not working, you need to stick at it. So the 12 is now flashing, I'm guessing, yeah. So increase or decrease the time, and we're on AM at the moment. I say it does feel a little bit cheap. 12:01 PM. Press time again to get to the minutes. 12:03. I don't know what the time is, to be honest, I'm guessing. I'm just going through the process. Right, so 12 is done. Press the time button to save the setting. I seem to be now, okay, right, so I'm now out of that and we've set the time to 12:03. Wait 60 seconds, oh there you go, that's the bit that I missed, I was impatient again. Wait 60 seconds to the status as well. I don't suppose you want to sit through this, but setting meal times, press and hold the time button for 5 seconds. Press the time button twice. God blimey. Yeah, and the meal 1 indicator will flash. Set the meal 1 time. So we'll go 12:10. God. Oh, come on. 12:10. Okay. Time, it goes on to the second feed. Press it again, it goes on to the third feed. Press it again, it goes back to the current time. So, done. Yeah, they're very complicated, these instructions, I have to say. Yeah, I'm going to need to read this. I've set the time and I've set a feed. I think I need to read it now. I've not had any indication of meal size. Second meal sizes. Recommend that meals are sized to feed no more than your fish will consume in a few minutes. Press and hold the feed button for 5 seconds. I'll do that. Alright, that's done. So now F00 is flashing. Press the plus or minus buttons to set the number of feed units. 1 feed unit is approximately 15 ml, 1 tablespoon in volume. Okay, so I'll go for 1 feed unit because I want to see what the absolute minimum is. Press the feed button again. Oh, so you can change the feed sizes for all the programmed feeds. So if you want to feed different sized meals at different times, I'm not sure why you would, but that's something the All Pond Solutions didn't have. Okay, so I need to fill the hopper. So actually I need to put this together as well, don't I? It's not together. A lot of faff in this one, I have to say. So in terms of the screw itself, right, I'm going to go have a read of this, put it all together. It's not as straightforward as the other one was. I'll come back to you when I've worked it all out. Okay, so I've had a quick read of the book. I've set this up now. It is fiddly, more fiddly than the old pond solutions to set up, a bit more involved, a bit less intuitive, but I've done it. It's not impossible. Just give the book a read and you'll kind of get it. So what I've done, I've set up the time now. Basically you've got 3 feeds a day. This does. You set the time of the feed and then you set the feed amount. So the feed amount ranges from 1 unit up to 90 units. I've just done a feed of 1 unit, which is the minimum, and I measured it and it was 9 grams of Hikari wheat germ, the 5.5 mil pellet. 9 grams, so huge improvement over the all pond solutions, and yeah, brilliant. Something I can use. This is going to work for me, this. Great. Actually too low, so I can increase it. I'll probably be doing 3, maybe even 4 units per feed, but that's I'll work that out. But yeah, the good news is the minimum feed is 9 grams. Maximum feed of 90 units, I presume, is 90 times 9 grams, which is again obscenely huge. No one's ever going to use that, but it's there. I won't go through the setting up in detail because you'll need to read the book anyway to do it. So what I will do though, one handy thing, there's a feed and a plus button on the front. If you press both of those together, it dispenses 1 feed sort of manually, and that doesn't interfere with your programmed feeds. So you can see there, that's a single feed of 9 grams of Hikari wheat germ. It's a very small handful, but yeah, useful feature to dispense a single feed between your program feeds. The other thing that I've noticed is that, so because this is a feed screw, gets movement, gets knocked, food's going to drop out. Not the end of the world, but yeah, something to bear in mind. This unit, as I say, it does have a multiple feed option, and that's what interests me, because 3 feeds is nowhere near enough a day for me. I will test that and I'll let you know if that works. As you can see, it is doing another feed there. I have programmed a few feeds, so again, there's a 9 grams of Hikari wheat germ, a single feed. So this one, you'll notice it doesn't spray them out, it doesn't fire them across the pond like the all pond solutions one did. It just gently drops them out the chute. That's fine for me. I don't understand why you would ever need to fire the food like that one did. You know, you just put the feeder nearer. I don't really. So I see that as a plus point, as an advantage, to be honest, rather than a disadvantage. But yeah, worth keeping in mind, if you, for whatever reason, you can't get the feeder on with this spout overhanging the pond and you need it to be fired, then maybe this isn't the feeder for you. But generally, I would think 99% of the time this is a good option and one that you'll be able to live with. Okay, I'll get on now. I'll have a good read of the book again. I'll test this multiple feed option. I'll live with the feeder for a week or so, and then I'll update you now at the end of the video with my findings. Okay, welcome back. 2 weeks down the line now, so I've lived with this feeder for 2 weeks. I've had it running on my pond here. I've been running it predominantly on the pond on the standard mode, 3 feeds a day, and it's worked flawlessly. I can't fault it for that, I must admit. So mine, this is feeding at 10:30, 12:30 and 2:30. So they're getting 3 feeds between the manual feeds that I give them in the morning and in the evening. And in that respect, it's worked well. I wish it did more. I would have liked more feeds than 3, but it is what it is, and it does what it does well. It does feed 3 feeds well, reliably, accurately, consistently. Just a note on my previous findings. Now I've done this a lot, I can confirm that one feed unit is 10 grams of the 5.5mm wheat germ pellets that I use. I think I got 9 or even 8 on the earlier ones, but I'm guessing that the screw wasn't properly filled when I did it, but it is 10 grams per one feed unit, and the feed units are really consistent. You get 10 grams every time on a single feed unit. 2 units is 20, etc, etc. So in that respect, really good. It's rained on this outside heavily, never had a problem. Obviously I've not had it long enough to talk about the battery life, but in that respect, all good. The frequent feed mode, which was what kind of attracted me to this over some of the other options, works. Not quite really how I would have liked it to work, but it works. I've had it in the house for long periods, and my wife or I jump up and write the time down and weigh the food every time it feeds, and yeah, but anyway, I'm kind of at the bottom of it now. So basically what happens is, if you put you enter a number of feed units, so say you put 10 feed units, that's 100 grams. So you want to feed your fish 100 grams over the course of the day, you put 10 in. What it does, you then put a start time and an end time. So if you put 8 in the morning and you put 6 in the evening, that's 10 hours. It'll feed those 10 feed units, it'll divide them out equally over the period of time that you set. So in that case, 10 hours, it'll feed one 10 gram feeding unit every hour on the hour. So for example, if you put 2 feed units in, that's 20 grams, and you put it over 2 hours, it will divide those 2 units up equally over the 2 hours, and again you'll get 1 an hour. If you put 5 feed units, 50 grams, and you want it over 2 hours, then it will get fed every 20 minutes. You'll get a unit because it divides 5 amongst the 2 hours, and that's 1 every 20 minutes. So basically, whatever number of 10 gram feeds you put in, it divides that equally over the time period that you put in. So a little strange way of doing it, I think, but it works. My one worry with that is throwing in 10 grams regularly is fine, but if you've got, like in my pond, I've got a Karashi guy and I've got a Chag, either of them, they start to hang around under the feeder at feed times as well. They very quickly pick up on roughly when it's going to feed. The Karashi guy and the Chag could sit under that chute with their mouth open, and if it dispenses 10 grams, it could very easily just go straight down the Karashi guy's throat, all 10 grams, the other fish not see a pellet, and then by the time your next hours come around, or wherever it may be, that Karashi guy is hungry again, and rinse and repeat. And potentially, if you've got a fish like that, and I have 2, basically the Chag and the Karashi guy, you may find your other fish don't get any. So I'd like to be able to dispense bigger volumes of food more regularly. So it is limited in that respect. I guess the way around it is to feed those 10 units maybe every 20 minutes, quarter of an hour, such that the pig of the pond gets its first feed, and then by the time the next one comes around, it's not yet hungry again. But you could end up throwing an awful lot of food in. So you need to think about it anyway, but that's how it works. You put an amount of food in, could be 300 grams a day. The feeder divides that 300 grams into 10 gram units, so 30, divides those 30 10 gram feeds up evenly across the period of time that you put in. So good feature, not perfect, but good feature. And strangely, I can't find a lot of information on that. I've had to work all that out myself because none of the literature explains that at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the camera in. I'll get it closer on the screen. I'll show you how you set it up, how you switch between normal feed mode and frequent feed mode. I'll just go through those a little bit with you. Okay, so this is the screen under normal operation. So as you can see, there's 3 little triangles at the top, and that's feed 1, feed 2, feed 3. That shows you've got 3 feeds programmed. The one that's flashing is the one that's coming up next. So as I say, mine's programmed for 10:30, the first one. So at 10:30 this will dispense a feed. To switch between the feeding unit, the feeding operations, press the time and the feed button together. It says 5 seconds, but it always feels a bit longer to me. But at some point it will switch, and as you can see now, the little F in the corner shows you're in frequent feed mode. You now have 1 time there, 1 time there, none on the middle. This is the time that it starts frequent feed, this is the time that it ends, and you can scroll through your settings. So this is when it starts, 7 o'clock, this is when it ends, 10 o'clock, and that's the number of feed units, which is 10, so 100 grams. And that's it. To program them, you press the time and keep it pressed, and you go into the setting mode then, and you can change all the start times and the feed levels. Then to switch back, simply press those 2 again to switch between the two modes, and now we're back in the regular feeding mode. And again, press the time button, you can scroll through. You can see the first one is 10:30, 12:30, 2:30, and that's it. Setting up of this one is a little bit complicated. I did need to read the book on this one. I couldn't just wing it, but it's not rocket science. Once you've got it, you've got it, so no problem there. So in conclusion, price 70 quid plus nearly a tenner for batteries, call it 80. Value I think is good. I'm happy with what I've spent and the performance that I get for me money. No complaints there. Build quality is flimsy, I have to say. Having reviewed the All Pond Solutions feeder before, the build quality of this is not as good as that one, not even close. This is very flimsy. The top, you know, it's like a Tupperware tub basically. This the build quality isn't great. Having said that, it shouldn't come shouldn't have any impacts or anything like that. It sits on the pond, it's waterproof, so in that respect maybe the build quality is good enough, but just in comparison, as I said, to the All Pond Solutions, the build quality is down. Performance is where it excels, in my opinion, again compared to the All Pond Solutions. Firstly, this will feed 10 grams, so a good level, a good size feed to start with, and you can work up from there. It feeds 10 grams and it feeds it consistently every time. Once this is set up and running and the chute's full, 10 grams is what you get every single time consistently. Reliable. Everything I've programmed and asked of it, it's done perfect, no issue there. Features, the 3 feeds is a little bit disappointing. If it had 6, I would be absolutely delighted with it. As it is, it's fine, it's okay. I use it and it works, it does the job. 6 would be better, however it doesn't have 6. However, it does have the frequent feed mode, which takes a bit of getting used to, but I think once you've had a play around with it and you get it right, get it programmed right for your particular situation, I think it's a useful addition, and it is one that I'm going to switch to and to use, you know, going forward. So that's great. As I said, the company I got this one from, bang on, no problem. Delivery was quick. I don't believe there's anything else. I've never, it's never blocked, it's never, the food hasn't got wet, it's never emptied the contents into the pond. It's worked and performed as it should. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I would recommend it to anyone with a sort of similar sized pond to mine, you know, up to like 1,000 gallons, as long as you're happy with 3 feeds a day. So that's everything on the Fishmate P7000. Any questions, as always, of course, do put them in the comments below. I'll answer all the comments or questions. If there's anything else you want me to try, test with this, any more experiments, do let me know and I'll do that. If the video's been useful, please do hit the like button, and do have a look at the other videos on the channel. There's a lot of useful stuff on there now and growing all the time. And do subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And until the next one, look after yourself.